Welcome to the second episode on this series of How to Retire. I am Scott Newhouse, and I am so glad that you are with me. Today, we are going to be talking about creating your retirement goals. There's a great quote from an unknown author. Retirement is wonderful if you have two essentials, much to live on and much to live for. We're going to be focusing obviously on the financial, much to live on, but we've also got to focus on much to live for because it's an underrated aspect of retirement planning and something that some people, not all, but some people forget or neglect to think about. What am I going to live for in retirement other than not having to go to that 9-to-5 job? So there are three types of retirement goals that I want to talk about in this episode. The first is financial, and we're definitely going to drill down into those, and we're all familiar with those. The second is lifestyle. What do we want our ideal life to look like? What do we want our average week to look like? What do we want our average, day to look like? Those are lifestyle type goals. But then we also cannot forget any kind of legacy or charitable goals that we have. And we can work on this during our lifetime, and we can obviously, if we have money left over at the end of our retirement, we can think about, who do we want this to go for and who do we want to benefit, from the money that we've been able to accumulate. So let's start with the financial goals. And before I get into it, I just want to say that I'm going to be sharing 3 to 5 questions that you should ask about each of these 3 types of goals: financial, lifestyle, and legacy. But there are many more questions that you need to consider. So this is just a starting point for you to dive deeper into these types of questions and these goals. So financial goals, first question I have is, at what age do you want to retire? Is it a specific age? Is it an age range at which you'd be happy retiring? Definitely something that we need to address before we, really go deep in this retirement planning topic. Also, how much income after tax will you need to be comfortable? I would start with the monthly amount because that's just kind of how I like to run the numbers. But think about that. What are you and your partner, spouse spending on a monthly basis? And what do you want that to be in retirement? The next question that I have for you in terms of financial goals is, how much do you want to spend on trips and vacations per year? A lot of people, they only get 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off over the course of their working careers. And so now once they reach retirement, they've got every day off. They want to go on many more trips. So how many trips do you want to go on? How much do you want to spend on those trips? Also, what's on your bucket list that requires money? Any, kind of one-time events that you want to do. You don't need to do it every year or every 5 years. You just want to do it one time. Anything like that in your mind, in your spouse's mind, that you guys want to do together that's going to require money. So those are a start to financial goals. Let's go on to lifestyle goals. And I think this is a really important question to think about, which is, what does your ideal day look like, and what's going to replace the time that you spent from 9 to 5 at work? And everyone's going to have different answers to this. And I really don't personally care what you spend your time on, but I do find it sad when you hear, there's not a lot of stories like this, but there's a certain percentage of people that go into retirement and they lose meaning and they lose purpose. And a big part of that is because they haven't spent time thinking about what they want their ideal day to look like. So hopefully it's not just, watching TV all day, because that doesn't really sound like a whole lot of fun. But if you're not going to put your energy towards work, what are you going to put your energy towards on that average day? Other questions that I have are, what hobbies or activities do you want to pick up that you haven't had time for? What's on your bucket list of things that you want to do that does not require money, which is obviously different from the financial bucket list question that I asked before. And then this helps people think in a different way about life and goals and what they really want to do. But if hypothetically you knew you only had 10 years to live, how would you spend it? What would you do? What would you exclude and what would you include in those 10 years? So think about this, and I would definitely do this, with my partner if you're involved with someone. And then the last type of goal that we talked about is legacy goals. Are there any charities you'd like to help during your life and at your passing? Are there any family members or friends that you'd like to help out financially? And how would you like people to remember you, especially if you feel like there's something that you can do either with your time or your money that can benefit other people? Also, what social activities do you want to participate in? And it doesn't necessarily have to be charitably minded, but it can be some way that someone can remember you because of any kind of contribution that you've made to those activities. So, our recap for retirement goals is that you need financial, lifestyle, and legacy goals as you head into retirement. Too many people focus only on the financial aspect, which lowers their quality of life because there is so much more than money out there. And then lastly, you need to spend time in conversation with your spouse and your family, discussing these questions and more. So thanks for making it to the end of this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.